But everybody that works hard for 50 years should be able to retire in peace, should be able to sit back without looking for your money. So I got a team of people, a diesel crew, that's really trying to help me navigate things. And if I never get it, at least you heard it from me, because I don't know what they might do to keep from paying me all the money they owe me.
This is exclusive updates. And so with Angie Stone's passing, it's a very strange situation, because, I mean, all of a sudden she gets unalived in a car accident. And so this was not too long after she made statements against her record label, Universal Music Group, the same label that Drake is suing.
But anyway, I was rushed to the hospital because I wasn't breathing so well. Came to find out, I had what was a bacterial blood infection that I had gotten when they stuck me with the needle. It had went into my bloodstream and caused a staph infection of the blood. Now, I didn't have a clue that there was a blood infection until they rushed me into ICU. I went into ICU and I went to use the restroom and I passed out in the restroom. My oxygen went all the way down and rendered me basically unconscious. When I came back to, the nurses began to tell me that I was screaming for Jesus, because when I went down, I'm sorry, I didn't know that, I didn't know what was happening. All I know is it was all of a sudden. And I began to praise God and call on his name, because I knew biblically that if I was transitioning, I needed to be calling on Jesus. And I need to be calling him by his name. So I began to scream his name. When they brought me to is when they told me I was lucky to be alive, because I was on the floor. And sorry. I knew it was an attack. I knew it was a spiritual attack on me. However, I was treated and God healed me. He cleared up. After 2 weeks, solid, they cleared up the blood infection. I'm just here to let you know, the only reason I hadn't been on my live and just getting with y'all on this, because I had to get postured with God one-on-one. Sometimes God will make you stand still. When you're doing the most you can for everyone, he will stand you still so that your complete focus can be on him. God he knew that I was about to come into some things. And as I began to come back to myself completely, I remembered everything that I was working on. I remember the people that were in my immediate circle that were supposed to be there to help me. By the time it was all said and done, the Christmas song had been snatched down. For what reason? I wasn't in a position to really fight that. I had to fight to live. So I couldn't worry about that, because I knew that it would take care of itself, but not without the devil trying to blame me for the mishap. Lo and behold, I won't call any names, but people quit on me because they thought it was me. like I said, I can't call any names because I'm not that vicious. I don't want to hurt anybody, and I really don't want it to be their downfall. But I will tell you, people left me in that dark, dark moment when I really needed support. My kids were there for me. My true friends were there for me because they knew this is serious. They thought that blood infection would have damaged my heart, so I went into a lot of testing to make sure there was not heart scarring. Lo and behold, all of that came out fine. I was not scarred by the heart, thank God. But the staph infection was supposed to scar the heart and the lungs, and it cleared up, thank God. So I just wanted to be transparent with you all because I don't always have it all the way together. But I'm a hard worker. You know, I play hardball, but I love twice as hard. And because I do love my fans, and especially shout out to Raheem Devon, who got on the stage in Detroit that night in my place, and he had the entire audience say, "Get well soon." He called me, "Sis, what's going on?" And when he found out, he said, "I got you." So I owe you one, bruh. I owe you one. But meanwhile, back at the ranch, as I was coming through all of this, I soon found out that one of the biggest companies that I was with, Universal Music, it's the second part of the ugly truth. We began to research things to check on my royalties and my statements and things that of that nature, only to find out a lot of my publishing, a lot of my royalties, my mechanicals, they have all pretty much been stolen. As I begin to find out things that I never had to look into, because when you hire a team of people that to some degree supposed to have your back, you're thinking that they're getting it all together for you. You know, that's why, you know, I respect Oprah Winfrey in that respect when she said, do your own research.
Be sure to like, share, and subscribe.
Just stoned the celebrity that I let a lot of important things slip through the cracks only because I didn't know any better. I worked very hard to take care of my kids as a single mother, and I'm being transparent. My kids' fathers just were not doing what they're supposed to do. So I had to step up and go in and do everything that I needed to do for my family, which is why I worked so hard, which is why I traveled so much, which is why I did shows, because at the end of the day, after 40-something years in the business, I'm like, well, why? Where are my royalties going? Because I'm not getting this. Come to find out, Universal Music has been receiving all my royalties, all my mechanicals. They've taken pretty much everything. They've stolen, I won't say stolen, but they have taken all the monies that were due to me. They have basically absorbed in that company. And even though there's several class action lawsuits, people that were working on my behalf never even registered the songs. All the songs that I've done, I'm only coming to find out they were not properly registered by the companies that I signed over to. People that were supposed to do their due diligence. So I am truly a walking testimony that God has carried me all this time. Because if you only knew how much money they have taken from me, how much they have stolen from me, monies that I'm supposed to be, I should have been able to retire 20 years ago with the money I've made. supposedly. But there are key people that have been driving the ships. And what they've been doing is improperly representing me, improperly stealing from me, taking things in their own hand, changing and switching lanes because they knew I didn't know that part. See, I'm not an attorney. I don't know everything. What I learned how to do was go out, work hard, get paid, come home, pay my bills, take care of my family. That part. The legal side, when you hire attorneys and managers and agents, they're supposed to make sure the gray area over there that they're in the driver's seat for, they're supposed to make sure you're taken care of. And even though they were taking care of themselves, they thought very little of taking care of me. And I know because I've seen it with my own eyes. So I'm just here to let you know, one way or the other, Universal Music, you're going to have to give up my coins. And so what I'm doing now is whatever is necessary to make sure they pay me for the legacy of my life, for my children and my grandchildren. They're going to have to give me my money. I mean, when you sit back and think Bruno Mars, Dr. Dre, when you think about all these people that have sampled music, if they're filthy rich on it, what's our problem? Or my problem? Oh, yeah. So you got to get a diesel crew, and I call them a diesel crew, to go in and rectify the issue, because evidently all the time that I've been working through things, they didn't get. So just to be clear, I can't say it over live. Give me your phone. I just want everybody, come on, Journey, I'm on the line. My granddaughter trying to help me, and she's slow as Christmas. Your thing went off. Anyway, go get from Shayna. Yeah. So with that being said, shout out to Van Silk. I know you didn't know this was coming, but I had to be transparent. I would try to take as many questions as I can. Let me see. Universal Music, call me. Keys join. Kathy Smith smiles. Yes, sis, get your diesel crew and go tear that. Okay. Yes, I plan on doing that. The music industry is horrible when they tell you that, it's not a straight line, I've been one to kind of play fair. I stay out of harm's way. I can't avoid trouble always, because I'll tell you this, no matter who we hook up with and how we hook up, they're always going to make it confrontational when it doesn't suit their liking. But I don't care about that. I got to pass all of that. But everybody that works hard for 50 years should be able to retire in peace, should be able to sit back without looking for your money. So I got a team of people, a diesel crew, that's really trying to help me navigate things. And if I never get it, at least you heard it from me, because I don't know what they might do to keep from paying me all the money they owe me.
So also, you see this type of stuff sometimes with these celebrities just crashing out like that, and, literally getting into serious situations. Kevin Hart, a lot of celebrities, Kanye West, they get into these serious automobile accidents, and it's like, wow, like, what's really going on here? Is this just a coincidence that people can't drive like that? And then that Paul Walker guy from the Fast and Furious, I think that was his name. I mean, y'all can't get people that can drive properly to, drive you around. And how are y'all really getting into these situations? Is this something suspicious or not? And we saw what happened with Princess Diana. It's just a crazy story. It just seems suspicious to me. And then with her previously going against her label, saying that she's not getting the money that she deserves. She's saying that she should have been able to retire 20 years ago. This is what I've been telling everybody. I said, look, these celebrities can't retire. I picked up on this a long time ago. Because, you know, when we're looking at these celebrities, it's looking like, okay, you guys are rich. You guys don't have to worry about money anymore. You guys are famous. And then you start to see them continue their career on and on, like to their 50s, 60s, and 70s. They're still going. Like James Brown was still going. Diana Ross was still going. Aretha Franklin, they're still going. Smokey Robinson, still going. And you're seeing all these celebrities age. Even the rock star, like a lot of these stars are just going and going. And then Rolling Stones, who was it? Aerosmith, Guns N' Roses. Like these celebrities just keep putting out more music and continuing to tour, and it's like their career is never done. Now you would think, okay, is this because they love their music so much, they love what they're doing, or there's something more to it? And I've speculated years ago. I said I've seen things that said that these artists are not allowed to retire. I've seen things written. There was something I saw with Kanye West before where they said he was not allowed to retire. That might be why he's trying to ruin his own career, is because they're not letting him retire. They're saying part of his contract was that he needs to put out an album consistently every couple years at the most. You can't really take a prolonged break. That was part of his contract. So then I saw some of these artists wilding out. I saw Alicia Keys at one point. She wasn't wearing makeup anymore. She was destroying the equipment. You know, sometimes you're like, okay, these music artists, they start to destroy the equipment after they perform. And then sometimes you can see something's off with that, and it's like they're destroying their equipment because they didn't feel like performing. They just want to be home chilling. And, you know, you see how like Cardi B and then Lauryn Hill, she tried to retire by having kids. They like that, I guess, when you have kids. I thought they would have been against that because as soon as some of these stars get a deal, they have a bunch of kids. And then I'm thinking, okay, the label's going to be mad. But I think they like that when they procreate. But with Angie Stone, you know, her going against UMG and all that, it's just, it seems like that was connected. I mean, it looks kind of crazy. I'm going to be honest. Like, that looks super crazy. And then with Drake, he's suing the same label. He was going against Universal Music Group, talking about they were boosting Kendrick Lamar's diss song against him. Not Like Us. So, you know, he's going up against the same people. And then Michael Jackson spoke out against his record label. I forget who his label was. I think it was Sony or something. And then Prince, I believe, did the same thing. So what I think is going on here, because I do have a little knowledge in the music game. I mean, from what I'm hearing, there's something to do with when they initially sign the artist. You know, I think they give them a bag. Like, they might get like $1 million or something, sometimes more even. And from what I'm hearing, sometimes that money's, well, I think for the most part, that money's really not just given to you. I believe they owe that money. It's like a loan, and it's like a forever loan. So some of these artists, they get their initial contract and they get signed. They get that million or whatever, and they start spending it and living good. And then they come to find out that they owe the label that million, so they're on a hook for that million back. That label needs to recoup that money back. And they can't really even let you go until they recoup that money back. I mean, this is just some of the stuff I've been looking into, because I used to be in the music game a little bit, so I kind of know a little bit about this stuff. So this is kind of what, you know, I've been seeing and hearing and researching, is that when you're in the music business, that money doesn't necessarily, when they give you that money, that's not necessarily free money. It's like they want to recoup that money back before you can even start making money, is what I'm hearing. So what it sounds like is kind of like a forever loan. It's like a loan that will never be paid off. Like a lot of people struggle to even pay off their house loan, you know, their mortgage. So imagine having, you know, they probably got a mortgage as well. Plus, if they owe their label a bag back before they can even get dropped or leave the label, it's like they can be on the hook for a long time. And then maybe they'll do a show and the label gets their cut. Maybe the label gets I don't know what breakdown it is, maybe 60-40 or something. Maybe the artist gets 40, label gets 60, something like that. Something to just keep them on the road and touring all the time. You see Beyonce, she's about to go on tour again. You got to do something for the industry. Rihanna was almost able to retire, but it looks like she is actually on the hook with Fendi. Like she got this clothing line or whatever where they're cool with that. They're saying as long as you bringing in the bread or whatever, maybe they're getting a piece out of that. Or sometimes I'm hearing some artists are managed. They might manage to pay what they owe off somehow. They might somehow be like, okay, well, they're gonna come up with that money anyway, anyhow, to get out of this contract. And this is the type of stuff I've been hearing. Like some of these artists, they figure out a way to come up with that money, come up with that bag, and buy their way out of that contract. And then they might be free. Like Soulja Boy, it looks like he's free. Looks like he's independent. But at the same time, some of these artists are never truly independent, I believe, because you see the Recording Academy, they keep track of who's on the live. And at the end of the year, they'll have this list up with all these artists nobody even remembers, even background engineers, musicians and people that just play the instruments, and even singers and writers and people that you might not have ever even heard of, all getting honored. It's like they're keeping track of them anyways. Once you sign that deal's official. And then on top of that, then there's selling your soul, that aspect to everything where, yes, it gets even deeper than you might even think. So if they think you owe them, then I guess you're not allowed to retire. Then if they think you're messing up where you can't sing anymore, like Whitney Houston, it sounded like Clive Davis. If you saw that movie, he was trying to tell her he doesn't think that she can sing anymore. And he wasn't impressed with her singing as she was getting older. And he was telling her that wasn't her best performance, and she has to, there was always someone in the background watching her and trying to, explain to her that she really got to step it up. And then after a certain amount of time, you never know what might happen to them if they feel like you're not bringing in, because they don't want you to ruin your catalog, putting out music that they don't think is your best music anymore. If they think you lost it, then who knows? They might want to unalive you because they feel like, okay, they don't want you to ruin your legacy anymore by putting out more music. And then they want your catalog to be vibrant and appreciated for decades and decades. That's why they worry about their catalog and their publishing and stuff like that. It's because when they make those albums with you, when the music industry is involved in a major label is involved in putting you out, they feel like you owe them for life now because they're the ones who made you a star in the first place. So they feel like, that's why I said I think they keep track of you. Even if you feel like you paid them off and you're good now, they still probably feel like, okay, you wouldn't even be nothing to this day if it wasn't for that deal we did with you back then. Now you can live off your fame and celebrity off of what we did, their work, they feel like. So like I said, with Soulja Boy, he feels like he paid them off. It looks like he's free to just drop whatever he wants, whenever he wants. He can put out 2 songs a day. He can drop a song and a video whenever he wants. That shows me that he's independent. But I feel like the labels that originally signed him, maybe they don't care anymore, or maybe they're looking at it like, okay, he still owes us because he's living off of his name and career now, something that we helped build. So who knows if you're ever even free and clear. But like I said, a lot of these artists are attached to their labels. Of course, Angie Stone couldn't retire because, the label, it sounds like, she didn't get into specific details and everything, but she was basically saying that people are making money, getting rich off of her music, and everybody but her is actually getting rich. So it's like, okay, that shows me that, the label was still definitely all involved in her career and not letting her just be a free artist and retire, have enough money to ever just stop making music and live her life, And so Angie's song, one of her hit songs that I think you might be familiar with, was Wish I Didn't Miss You. To me, that was one of her best songs. And to this day, that song go. So I don't know if you got time, check out that song, Wish I Didn't Miss You by Angie Stone. And, you know what I'm saying, rest up, Angie Stone. It just looks like it was an unfortunate situation, very suspicious in my opinion. That whole situation was very suspicious is what I've concluded. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section. And like I said, Drake going against the same label Angie was talking about, I don't know, maybe that was a warning to Drake. You know what I'm saying? So that could have been a warning to Drake, because I feel like if Drake sees that Angie Stone was just talking about Universal Music Group, UMG, then I feel like that would make Drake look at that situation and feel like maybe he better chill out. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he better fall back if it's not too late even. Because, Diddy, we saw what happens when you go against the grain, because it's like you're their puppet. It's like you become their puppet once you sign those deals. And I think it's very difficult to get out of, especially if you owe them. So, yeah, that's about it for today. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section about everything. I'm going to leave some links for you. Make sure you subscribe. Let's get over 100 likes on this video. And check out my other videos on celebrities. You're going to like it. There's a lot of good information that you're going to want to check out. There's a playlist in the comment section in the description box, so check that out. This has been Exclusive Updates. I'm out.